It's Week 14 of the National Football League. And coming up, we'll see the electric Jaden Daniels. He's your top dog in the league this season, ranking first in passing yards. It's the Commanders and the Broncos, and it's all just ahead on Madden NFL 25.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about this Commanders team coming into play here today.
They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And a look at a guy, definitely got a little razzle-dazzle to him. Can do it with his arm or his legs. Their mobile QB.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm time when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Now a 2nd and 10. Nix to the air.
It's incomplete.
You talk about this Washington defense.
It's a unit that has had all sorts of issues against the pass. Dead last in the NFL, number 32 in the league.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This is an offense that's near the bottom of the league in rushing, so defensively coming in, you've got to know you're going to see the ball in the air a lot. And that time, it's a completion and a first down on this opening drive.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here's Nix once more.
And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down.
To throw is Nix. A short one to the tight end, Troutman.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Now it's Nix. That's caught. It's Marvin Mims.
7 yards there and a first down.
A gain of 7. First down, Denver.
They'll run it for the first time with Williams.
Yeah, maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line.
The Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
To throw, here's Nix. And that one too wide and incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
He completes this to Sutton. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Cortland Sutton, his 9th touchdown of the season.
And the Broncos get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. So out comes the Washington offense as they get their first shot. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his 2nd year in the NFL now.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. Now Daniels. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. So already trailing, Charles, they opted to try to take a shot on their first play from scrimmage. Obviously, that one didn't pan out.
Absolutely not. And how about the momentum that's being created now? You score, you take it away, big return. You got a chance to go up 2 touchdowns here early in the game. That'll feel great for their team.
The Broncos offense and their quarterback coming out for their 2nd drive. He had the touchdown pass earlier, adding to his impressive season total as you take a look at the NFL leaders in touchdown passes at this point in the season. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
First down, Broncos.
Here's Nix. Throw out wide is incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Got his man. It's Williams. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Off the bootleg, here's Nix. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he will have a Broncos first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1. Throwing Nix. We'll get that complete to Vele. So the completion good for 7 there. And it's 2nd down. Nix looking to throw again. And it's caught. And the Broncos are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
Williams will take it in. Touchdown, Denver. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. As the Commanders make their way out on offense, let's take a peek at the playoff picture in the NFC.
Now, the current playoff picture, and you can see they are one of those 3 wild card teams, at least for the moment, but they have not clinched that spot, Charles. And look, their message has been clear. We're keeping our foot on the gas to the very end.
And how about the theater and the drama that's involved, partner? The best part, we've got a front row seat to it all. And I think this is obviously the ultimate goal when they added a 7th seed to the playoffs back in 2020. More drama, more teams in it late in the season, and more importance on games like this.
Now an option play on 2nd down.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
Washington going to send out their punter. And Marvin Mims deep for Denver.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10.
The Broncos offense and Bo Nix getting set for this next possession.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They'll stay on the ground with Williams.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Nix.
And that will be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Taking it about the 16. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Here comes the Commanders' offense back onto the field.
They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They begin the drive with Robinson. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
This defense for the Broncos, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Throwing now is Daniels.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And Riley Moss able to get a hand in there and knock it away. Here's 2nd and 10. But you look at this Bronco defense.
They come into this one down at the 27th position in the league, Charles, against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Washington going to send out their punter
as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Nix. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
Up the middle, it's Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Another tackle for loss from the interior of that D-line. He had 4 of those last week, partner.
And what you can glean just from the statistics, even if you don't watch the tape, is that he is what we call a one-gap player. I mean, that's all he has.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And the return will stop right around the 25.
So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
The Washington offense back out there. And they'll start with great field position, trying to get back into this one. It's 1st and 10 here. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
A little second effort there on the strong run. And then drop just inside of the 20. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
To throw is Daniels. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Daniels. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2.
The Commanders went for it, but they cannot pick up the first.
And the Broncos will take over on downs. Well, down 2 touchdowns already. I guess they felt they needed to go for it, but still early, still first half.
I think conventional wisdom says, look, as you point out, you got a whole half to play. Hang in there. Don't give up any more points in this situation. Do a little adjusting at the half and come out ready to go. But sometimes those coaches can just sense their team. Maybe they're a little flat or they need a little extra inspiration. And he decided to go for it there to try and kickstart things.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
So a decent gain there on the play, but that all gets wiped out with a penalty.
Well, that's a setback, but all the good play callers, they just move on. They find something else in the playbook. They can attack this defense, and they go right back on the offensive on this play.
Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
On play action, here's Nix. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And Washington going to come back out here to take over offensively. Following the interception, they're set up nicely here, already inside the red zone, knocking on the door, if you will. 1st and 10. Daniels looking to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Denver's offense now set to go. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out and give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
$14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams.
And Williams is going to pick up a Broncos first down as he gets this up past the 40.
2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Again, it's Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. It's complete to Williams. Pushing his way through. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
From Commander's territory now, it's 1st and 10.
At the 46. Now a handoff. Here's Williams.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 65 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Back to throw now on 1st down.
A short one to the tight end, Troutman.
Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Operating from the gun, here's Nix.
He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Commanders' offense and Jaden Daniels getting set for this next possession. And he's putting together a remarkable season, currently the NFL's leader in passing yards as we play here in the month of December.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be second down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 29-yard line.
Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5.
Here's Daniels.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
6-yard return after a punt of 48, and out will come the offense as they take over.
The offense getting set again. We spotlight Javonte Williams, the running back.
And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
Working out of the gun is Nix. A short one to the tight end, Troutman.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
They'll go play action with Nix.
Got a man open. It's Sutton. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Nix to the air. A short one to the tight end, Troutman.
They'll wind up getting just a yard. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They'll look to throw again.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Deron Payne able to record his 5th sack of the season. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
Nix from the shotgun.
He sets to fire deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed, because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. this might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it.
Here we go on the next drive for Washington. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're
You don't
down.
want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you
Now
just
you
called
can
it.
go.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think
did.
you did. But let's face it. You mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that they've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
To the air goes Daniels.
Short pass caught by Henry. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Washington going to send out their punter.
He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here.
They begin the drive with Williams. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And this is going to be incomplete.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide, because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
Taken at about the 36. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 41-yard line.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Over the middle, that's the tight end Senate.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
2nd down and a yard. Robinson gets the toss on the right side.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
And that throw there going to put him over 4,000 yards passing now for the season, maybe strengthening his MVP consideration.
And you figure with still a handful of games left to play, 5,000 yards is not totally out of the realm of possibility. The way he is playing, I think he's going to get there.
Robinson on a give right side.
And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning.
At the Broncos' 47-yard line.
A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
Off the play fake, Daniels.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Flushed out right. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Able to find a seam for 14 yards, but still now facing a 4th down after the scramble.
Washington going to send out their punter
as he's on for the 5th time here today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now carry number 20 of the game. Here's Williams.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts
as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. They run it again with Williams. And he is stopped just short on 3rd down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
And here's Daniel Whelan on now to punt.
It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Commanders' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. Got his man. It's Bo Melton.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
Now Daniels. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Marshall. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And this one is right through. And that will do it for this first half. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit. For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And it's the Cowboys on top as they play the second quarter. The Cowboys trying to finish that one off and claim victory. From there, we head north to Minnesota. Check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. The Steelers seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville. See what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And this one going the visitors' way as the Texans have the lead in that one. It's C.J. Stroud with a couple of touchdown passes. It was former Tar Heel Javonte Williams with a solid first half. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break. The highlights are fairly one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference here at the break. But I wouldn't call this one over just yet. I think there could still be some fireworks yet to come.
And it's a pretty good return here, so he'll get this up to the 29. The home team's offense and running back Brian Robinson getting set for this next drive. And he's been a huge factor in the passing game all season long. His numbers reflect that. Currently leads all NFL running backs in receiving yards. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Daniels. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
As they started that drive, I think they looked at the scoreboard and said, this is a manageable deficit, guys, but let's go ahead and start cutting it down right here. Instead, an interception happened, so a 2-possession game might become 3. So as we get going here in the second half, this could rapidly reach the point where there isn't enough time left for a comeback if their defense doesn't bail them out.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half.
And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Back to Robinson now on 1st down.
And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Daniels.
That's caught by Sennett.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point, and what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a 1st down.
Play action, now it's Daniels.
Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Daniels. He's able to find Melton. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 12-yard line.
They send McCaffrey in motion right.
And they'll get it forward to him on the touch pass.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
The 11-yard line. A gain of a yard on the play brings up 3rd and 4.
Back to throw again.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Commanders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
They'll run with Robinson.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
Robinson again, but he will lose yardage here as they knock him back to the 3.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown.
Brian Robinson Jr., his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
And that's a step in the right direction. This had the feeling of one of those turning point kind of drives. If you come up empty there, rode back. But they persevered and hung around, and they closed the gap here in the 3rd quarter with their first touchdown of the game.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
And it was capped off by the touchdown run from Brian Robinson. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
And Denver getting set to take the field.
This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. Now it's Nix.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
2 yards to go, 2nd down.
And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7. Following the penalty, it's Williams.
97 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Here's 3rd and a few inches. Off the play fake, Nix. That is caught. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Up the middle, it's Williams. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now they'll toss it out right to Williams. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. The tight end in motion right. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33.
A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on third down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Throwing Nix.
Throwing right, and that's complete.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 14.
A good pickup there of 20 yards.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Here's Nix.
Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the scrambler or the dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
To throw is Nix.
Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
How to approach this. 3rd down and 16 yards to go. To throw, here's Nix.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
A second field goal here this 3rd quarter, and his 3rd of the game so far.
He's been an important part of the offense, that's for sure, and they may need him again before this one's said and done. So I would treat him like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter. Leave him alone and let him focus.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Washington ready to try again on offense. And this group has suffered far too many self-inflicted wounds thus far as we run through some of the mistakes. It's darn near impossible to win in this league when you're turning the ball over at the frequency that they have. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives them a first down.
Daniels looking to throw. There's a short one pulled in by Simmett.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. To throw is Daniels. This pass complete to Melton.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Back now at Commanders Field. It's the Commanders in possession of the football, but they trail as we start this 4th quarter. Here's Daniels.
It's complete to Robinson. And he'll get nothing out of that one. So nothing doing there. And it'll be 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory.
The visitors' offense and Javonte Williams head out for this next drive. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Back to throw. Nix.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield or man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4.
And they will take over 1st and 10. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
They begin the drive with Robinson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs.
Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out.
And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6.
Operating from the gun, Nix. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
They'll fake the jet sweep, and instead give up the middle to Williams.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown.
Javonte Williams
with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season.
And the Broncos are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter.
And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so. But they couldn't be happy that they were having to stop a 2-point conversion because that means they gave up a touchdown. But a little solace there. You saw some good gang tackling, stacking him up before he can get to the end zone.
We talk about offensive units putting in more 2-point period sessions in practice. Defensively, do you do the same?
Absolutely. You have to, because you never know how aggressive these offenses are going to be in games nowadays.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Throwing now is Daniels.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
Short pass caught by Henry.
Call it a gain of a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
A give to Robinson on the option. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
A gain of 1 brings up 3rd down and 9.
Looking to throw. Daniels. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And the Broncos are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The Broncos offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
They'll go play action with Nix.
And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he's going to have the 1st down as he's marked down just shy of the 20. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Again, it's Williams.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 147 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2.
Nix to the air. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down.
He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
Well, it's been a little bit of feast or famine because he's thrown for decent yardage, and obviously they've got the lead, Charles, but now he's been sacked 4 times.
And what I'm focusing on is his toughness in the pocket. Because you mentioned the feast or famine part, he's played well in between being dumped on his back. But every time he's had a chance to throw the football, he's been impressive.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. That one is slant to McLaurin.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
To the air goes Daniels.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
They go play action. Daniels.
And this one's incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you.
And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception.
Picked off by Drew Sanders. And the Broncos are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
They'll try and run down some clock with Williams. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
2nd and 5. They'll stay on the ground with Williams.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. Yeah, Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with. They have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return.
The Washington offense set to take over again.
They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels. There's a short one pulled in by Simmons. Here's a 2nd and 8. Now the Commanders going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. 2nd down and 8.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. One final shot. They'll look to throw. One last shot at the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for Denver, the win is their 5th of the year as they move to 5-8. And they'll have another road date next week with the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Washington, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.